Hey YouTube, welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas and Merry Christmas Eve. Today I'm talking about the 1985 film Santa Claus The Movie.
Right back. Hello, son.
Hey, beat it, man. Find your own doorway. Don't crowd me.
What are you doing out here?
I'm pitching a no-hitter for the Yankees. What's it look like?
But it's Christmas Eve. Don't you know what that means?
Yeah, it means you're out of a job till next year. You and the rest of the winos.
Don't you know who I am?
Sure, you're a nut.
I'm Santa Claus.
Right. And I'm the Tooth Fairy.
Santa Claus The Movie is starring Dudley Moore, John Lithgow, and David Huddleston as Santa Claus. So the story is summed up like this. The legend of Santa Claus is put at risk by an unscrupulous businessman who wants to take over Christmas. Filmed on a budget of $50 million, sadly this movie completely bombed at the box office, only grossing $23.7 million worldwide. Critics didn't care for the movie very much either, calling it over-sentimental and sappy, and it's currently sitting on Rotten Tomato with a critic score of 20%. However, it does have an audience score of 66%. So people who have seen this movie mostly like it. I think one of the things this movie suffered from is what I say a lot on this channel, and that is it was way before its time. This movie is a literal superhero movie. Now, why is this like a superhero movie? Well, you get an actual origin story of Santa Claus. And then, about halfway through the movie, that's when the villain shows up. Yes, John Lithgow's character is a very generic bad guy. But if you're a superhero movie fan, you know that generally happens with the first movie. You don't want to throw your best at the good guy when you're trying to explain who the good guy is. So you can see how this movie would actually work better today with the MCU and everything else. Lord knows this could have spawned a Santa Claus cinematic universe. So what do I like about this film? Well, first off, if you're a kid, this movie answers every freaking question you have about Santa Claus. And I mean that. It not only gives you the origin, but goes in depth on how all of his magical powers actually work. Like for instance, if you're a kid who doesn't have a chimney, well, they explain how he gets into your home. No, he does not pick locks. Dad. The cast in this film is absolutely fantastic also. Dudley Moore plays the elf Patch, who's Santa's right-hand man, basically. And we get to see an entire journey with this character. And that's something that's really great about this movie. They introduce a character and he gets a complete story. In fact, he's one of the driving factors of this movie. Not only was Dudley Moore great, John Lithgow plays a fantastic villain, but I want to focus in on one other performance in this movie, and that is Santa Claus. David Huddleston plays the best Santa Claus I have ever seen in any movies, hand down. I don't care what you have to say about Tim Allen, this dude's the real deal, he is Santa, and the Big Lebowski. So hey, if you're wanting to watch a different holiday movie this year that you haven't seen 100 times, then I really recommend Santa Claus The Movie. It's for rent out there on most of the rental platforms that you can find for streaming. And this is a great movie to sit down with your kids, especially if they're just a little bit older and they're starting to kind of lose that magic of Christmas. Trust me, this one will bring it back because it's going to answer all of their questions that their little curious minds have at this point. Okay guys, that brings us to the end of another Film Geek video. Thanks again for checking things out. If you like what you saw here today, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for notifications. And as I always say, folks, keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.